面白くない。
Dark Witch Music Episode Rudymical is a rhythm game from the Dark Witch series. You face bosses of varying professions that throw colored balls at you that indicate what button to press. Pressing at the right time means you're whittling away at the boss's health until you're given a grade that reviews your timing. Although it doesn't take much to beat a level, I was surprised by the high bar in getting an A. Don't be fooled by the amount of greats that you pull off. The game would rather see you hit perfect with musical notes on each side. Getting A's is the only way you can earn Shiega, which lets you unlock new costumes. I understand that this is the game's way of forcing some replayability, and although I did experience a hit of that just one more try feeling, it didn't take long to admit that it's just not worth it. And that's more of an issue with the core gameplay. There are 4 difficulty options. Easy means that you've only got to worry about the red ball. Medium and hard makes you juggle between blue and red, with the latter difficulty being faster and more chaotic. Lunatic adds green into the mix, which actually does a lot to confuse what button to press next. But that's mainly because as a rhythm game, Rudymical is highly reliant on visual as opposed to audio cues. Even though it's classified as a rhythm game, the music you hear is only loosely tied, if at all, to what you see on screen. The best audio indicator would be the sound of the balls bouncing off the environment, but as to whether you'd have to press Y, X, or A, you'd have to rely on seeing what color is coming. That can be very tricky, seeing as you can be faced with an obnoxious barrage of bouncing balls. The music is another issue. With over 10 songs, a couple of them might be catchy enough the first time you hear it, but I definitely would not be listening to any of these songs outside of the game. Multiplayer is not much different. In versus mode, you and a friend time button presses to score higher than the other. I found co-op to be the better experience, tackling bosses with a friend and seeing who scores higher. Outside of the gameplay, you have a small gallery where you can rewatch some cutscenes and different character endings, but there's not much value to the content. You have options in the settings to turn off your character and the boss's voices, and to adjust the timing required in the gameplay. It's a major bummer when you expect to play a rhythm game and find that the gameplay doesn't lend itself to what you can hear. I can do a string of perfect hits, or a string of misses, and the music still sounds the same. And a rhythm game can be wholly unappealing when you're not a fan of the music.